Hey, this is Teddy, your Google Workspace and Gmail strategist, trainer, and coach. And the question I got asked is how can I share my Google Calendar with others? I thought this would be a great quick little video. Now I'm going to show you what you can do in my Google account for burrisconsultant@gmail.com. You can see in the upper right hand corner. Now what I'm going to show you will also work in Google Workspace, except if the domain administrator has prohibited you from sharing your Google Calendar beyond people within your domain in certain ways. And I'll show you where those limitations can happen as I'm showing you what you can do. So here's my business calendar right here. Let's say if I open this back up and go back a week, let's go back a week. Here's all kinds of stuff on my calendar for March 14th and on. But I want to share my calendar so individuals can get to the whole calendar. Let me show you what you can do. So here's the calendar, BCI testing. Click on the three dots here and settings and sharing. So let's look at the three different ways you can share your Google Calendar. First of all, make it available to the public. If I click that, it's going to make my calendar available to the public, including potentially being discovered by a Google search. Hit OK. Now there's two options here. I can let the public see free busy. Now that means they're going to see where I have stuff on my calendar, but they're not going to see the details of what I have on my calendar. They'll see all the open space as well. Or I can say let them see all event details. So that means they'll see my entire calendar and where I have events. They'll not only be able to see I have an event, but they'll be able to read the details of the event. Now, this is important to understand. When I copy that link, I'm going to copy the link. Now, when I share that link, wherever I share it to, whether I put it on a website, put it in an email address, or whatever I do with that link, the only people who will be able to see my calendar are people who are logged into their Google account at that moment. My point, let me show you this. Go to incognito, I'm not logged in, click on that, and now Google wants me to log in, or it's not going to show me that calendar. So again, you're not going to, and no one's going to be able to see your calendar publicly unless they are logged into a Google account. Let me go to a Google account and show you what they'll see. So when I bring that link up in a web browser where I'm logged in as a Google account, it wants to add it to the calendar. So I have to hit add. So now you can see I'm looking at Burris Consulting at Gmail and all of his activity, and I can see all of the detail because I made that public account visible to see the detail. You can see by making it public, see all details, get shareable link. Again, you have to be logged into your Google account and you have to add that calendar to your Google Calendar in order for you to see it, even though it's a public calendar. Here's the next thing. Share with specific people. Now I can add specific people to this if I want to. Let me add T.L. Burris at Burris Consulting, and I have four options. I can let him see free busy. I can let him see all the event detail. I can share this calendar with Teddy Burris and let him make changes to events, which also includes add events. Or the fourth option is make changes to event, add events, or manage the sharing of this calendar. This is only available when you do share it specifically with individuals. Now, a couple things here that are important to understand. The domain administrator, if you're using a Google Workplace calendar, that means the business version, the domain administrator has the ability to enable or disable make public, and they have the ability to decide which level of calendar sharing is the domain user allowed to do. They can limit it to this, or limit it to this. And I will tell you, most of the time as a domain administrator, I would restrict anyone outside of my domain to be able to manage someone else's calendar. However, I have the ability to let Teddy see it all and manage it all, and I hit send. Now I'll show you what Teddy Burris got on his in his account. Hang on a second. Now Teddy just got an email. This is Teddy at teddyburris.com. Got an email from Burris Consulting at Gmail, and it said this: we're giving you access to manage events and share settings for the calendar for Burris Consulting at Gmail. And it lets me add this calendar to my Google Calendar. Click on add. And again, on the week of the 14th, you can see all those events for burrisconsulting@gmail.com. And again, I'm looking at this from tlburris@teddyburris.com, or it's actually tlburris@burrisconsulting.com as well. So looking at it from a different user because I shared it specifically with that user. Now here's the third thing that you can do. The third thing you can do is you can integrate your calendar either with a public URL on a website or by embedding the calendar in a web page. If I go customize that, you can see I can change the width and the height. Let's make this 1100. Let's make this 750. And now I can take and copy that content right there. Let me copy that, and I'm gonna go put it on a Google site and show you what happens. And I put it on this page for anyone to see. This is also very public for anyone to be able to see. They can see it by week, by month. They can see the agenda list. Pretty neat little way of displaying a calendar, and they can navigate around again, but this is public. They don't have the ability. There's no ad. I can't add an event. I can't change. I can click on it and view it, but I can't change it. I can get more details, which opens up in this big picture here. But there's no way in this public presentation that anyone has the ability to change this data. Sharing Google Calendars are 3 different primary ways of doing it. I can make it public for anybody with a Google account. I can share it directly with any other Google user. And lastly, I can integrate it and put it on a website so anyone can see it. Again, the Google Workplace domain administrator could limit some of this based on their choices of security in their Google Calendar. I'm Teddy Burris, your Google Workspace and Gmail strategist, trainer, and coach, and I hope these ideas are helpful for you.